If you're being honest, is your YouTube channel a little chaotic, a little random? For those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Eric Wen, and this channel is all about how to help creators tell their story on YouTube in a way that stands out and actually fits their personality. For the past week or so, we've been going really in depth how to find all the ingredients you bring to the table and sort it out into a recipe for your content smoothie that's authentic, compelling, and cohesive. Last video we talked about the ingredients that are a little more subtle in your content smoothie, your mission, core values, the personality you bring to your YouTube channel. You know when you buy a strawberry smoothie and they throw some banana in there, some kale in there? Those extra flavors make your smoothie special, more recognizable. But recognizable more in a taste sense, not like what they're actually buying. You don't buy a hint of banana smoothie, you buy a strawberry smoothie, a mango smoothie. In the same way, your mission, core values, personality, those extra flavors are super important on your YouTube channel. But that's not the first thing your audience notices or signs up for. The ingredients your audience will notice right off the bat are the style and format of your videos and the topics you feature on your YouTube channel. This is what your audience notices, signs up for. They're buying your strawberry smoothie for some strawberries. They're buying your mango smoothie for some mangoes. The confusion comes along when you give your audience a different smoothie every day. They sign up for a strawberry smoothie and you hand them a mango one instead and go, oh, it's not, they're both smoothies. No, they're gonna be really confused and definitely not inclined to tell their friends about your YouTube channel. In today's video, we're focusing on the strawberry, the mango. How do you clarify the style, format of your videos, the topics on your YouTube channel so you don't confuse your audience? All right, I'm excited. Are you excited? Let's get right into it. Okay, so on the screen we've got the recipe diagram again. As a quick refresher, if the ingredient is higher up on the diagram, that means you want that ingredient obvious, present, called out, familiar in your content. And then if you put it lower on this diagram, that means that ingredient's still in your content, but it's a little more subtle, takes time to spot, hidden in the background. Today, there's gonna be two main ways we find clarity when we have a bunch of ingredients we're trying to sort out. The first way is just doing what we've always been doing, which is taking two ingredients that we might be tempted to go, oh, we just do both, I don't really have a preference, and then forcing ourselves to choose a preference. How often do I want to showcase this ingredient? A lot or a little. The second major way we're going to find clarity though is by taking off ingredients that are distracting, that don't need to be a part of our content. I teased this a little bit last video, but just because you like something, you are something, you believe something, doesn't necessarily mean that that needs to be a major part of your YouTube channel. Taking ingredients off the table isn't being fake, it's clarifying things so strangers can come to your content and more easily understand you. Okay, now let's start sorting. A lot of you guys on your YouTube channels dabble in a lot of different topics. Farming, travel, gaming, improv, vlogging. The first big mistake you want to avoid with your YouTube channel is having a lot of broad topics, genres on your YouTube channel, but never making any choices for yourself which out of those two things, three things, God forbid 5 things, is actually your main priority. It's really confusing when you have a channel that thinks it's 100% a family channel, a travel channel, and a camera review channel. Oh, I'll just cycle through, do one of each, and my personality will tie it all together. No, it won't. It's just like the smoothie thing from the beginning. If they come to your channel and love the travel video, the strawberry smoothie, they're gonna be really confused when they come back to your store expecting a strawberry smoothie, and instead you're giving them a chocolate smoothie, a mango smoothie. If you have a couple topics on your YouTube channel, you have to choose, and I don't necessarily think you have to stick to one and get rid of the rest that are meaningful to you, but make choices what you're emphasizing, presenting to strangers. Is it a family channel where you travel around and you also happen to be a camera enthusiast? Or are you a camera review channel that happens to travel sometimes and give glimpses of your family in the B-roll? Lots of different combos can work. But you, the creator, needs to make choices for yourself what you prefer to highlight. The audience isn't going to be able to make that decision for you. You have to make that decision. For me, I often say this YouTube channel is all about communication and self-awareness. But if I had to ask myself, which out of those two do I prefer to highlight more? For me, if I'm being honest, I highlight self-awareness on this channel a lot more than the communication storytelling side of things. How to communicate, storytell on YouTube is definitely a huge piece of my content. But out of the two of these, I definitely obsess about self-awareness in 100% of my videos, whereas the communication storytelling stuff, maybe 70, 80%. If I was 100% talking about communication storytelling, I would probably lean into it, talk a lot more about scripts, word choice, that would be a super cool, valid option. And honestly, if you asked me in October of last year, that's probably what I thought this channel was headed towards. Maybe someday, but the more I made videos, the more I realized all the major blind spots, confusion, frustration, disappointment in this creator community, the answers, the good answers, always trace back to needing more self-awareness. And I was like, okay, well, why aren't people actually teaching self-awareness in a way people can actually understand? I couldn't find anything. I just saw general advice, be yourself, find your voice somehow. And then I was like, okay, why isn't self-awareness getting focused on if this is basically what could help every single creator? And then I realized it's because it's really hard, complicated to explain. How do you actually practically help creators unlock their self-awareness to tell their stories better, to unlock the impact they're dreaming about? And on top of that, can I do it in a way that's fun, entertaining? See what I mean? Deep down, we all have our preferences we're really passionate about. I'm not as passionate about helping creators write better scripts, but I am super passionate about this side of things. Underneath this card are a couple other decisions I've made with my content. I often talk about helping you find your YouTube niche. I don't talk about other video platforms, Twitch, Netflix, documentaries. It's all very focused on YouTube, the platform, its creators. My focus is growing on YouTube with content fueled by human connection, fueled by real human beings excited about your content. That's why I never say, hey guys, if you niche your channel down to only talk about light bulbs, your channel's definitely gonna grow, you should do that. No. Every once in a while, I don't talk about these things, niche, communication, storytelling, and instead focus on the mindset you need as a creator to do this long term, to be grateful, be fulfilled with your work. So yeah, here on the screen you can see this is generally my preference for the topics I highlight on my YouTube channel. Notice how this still leaves lots of room for creativity, lots of different topics. However, especially when you add in my mission, core values, and my personality, it's a lot more specific than just I make videos about YouTube. I make storytelling videos. Remember how before I said sometimes you have to delete ingredients from your content smoothie recipe? Here's some of those ingredients: videographer, analytics, editing, making money on YouTube, me being a young adult. I have lots of experience, things to say about being a videographer, editing, how confusing it is to be a young adult. But if I started throwing these things into my content, it would start to get a little cluttered, a little confusing. They don't fit. So I chose a long time ago to not make them a part of my content. The same thing with the analytics thing, the making money on YouTube thing. Those videos, how much YouTube paid me in March 2020, those videos drive me nuts. There's so many of them, they're not particularly helpful or practical, and it gets creators more distracted by, obsessed with, money and views, which is not really what's most meaningful about this YouTube thing or indicative of long-term, big-scale connection, success. A little lower down here, I wrote my personal life, thumbnails, scripts, aesthetics. These ingredients I actually sort of could include in my recipe, right? Scripts and storytelling sort of related. Thumbnails, packaging, how you communicate yourself on YouTube is sort of connected. I definitely have things to say, things I'd be excited to share about those topics. But ultimately, if I was honest with myself, those topics would be a bit distracting. And so, just like you, I had to make some cuts to make things clear for strangers finding my content. Okay, so now finally we get to the ingredients that relate to the style and format of your YouTube videos. The main objective here is to make your content smoothie recognizable. Give it a distinct taste. This doesn't mean you have to lock yourself into one format of videos. It does mean you should pay attention though to the patterns you weave into your presentation style, your communication style. So for instance, if a stranger came to your channel, watched one video, and then clicked another, how easily would they be able to predict what that next video looks like? For me, in 95% of my videos, you can depend on there being a talking head portion. But for other people, maybe they're vlogging in 90% of their videos. Maybe they're doing video essays where they don't even show their face at all. It's fun to experiment, mix things up, but if one video is a vlog, one's a commentary video, one's a react video, one's a video essay, one's a talking head video, one's a conversation with another creator, it can get a little confusing and harder for the audience to pick out the specific flavor of your content. Are your videos mostly indoor? Outdoor? Is the camera usually stationary, moving? What's the aesthetic, general decoration in your videos usually like? What colors often pop up in your content? For me, pastel, smoothie, earthy type colors pop up a lot. Other people might go neon, maybe super clean, lots of whites. Again, this small stuff, indoor, outdoor, is the camera usually moving or stationary? These are very small, easy, harmless things you can make preferences about with your content that will establish these very subtle patterns in your content, start tying it together. If I asked you, are my videos usually indoors or outdoors? It's so easy for you to answer that question because it's a recognizable pattern in my content, and that small thing may seem insignificant by itself. But when you put it together with all these other patterns on your content, it starts to add up into something more and more recognizable. Here's an interesting one to think about. Is the takeaway of your videos, is it usually entertainment? Is it you being their guide, or is it just cold, hard information? If it's cold, hard information at the top, you're probably doing tutorials or reporting on the news or something. What people are coming to you for is cold, hard information. What I want to give, it's not really cold, hard information, stuff you can Google. I want to be a guide. I want to help you in a different way, leading by example, pointing out different things, unlocking things when you're feeling stuck. We all know what a channel looks like when they double down on just one of these things, right? We know what an entertainment channel looks like. We know what an information tutorial channel looks like. The thing is though, if you actually study the top creators on this platform, oftentimes they're not just doubling down on one of these things, they've found a way to combine all three. For instance, Matt Diavella, you may come to his content initially because of the information, you want to see the personal development tips and tricks, but when you actually watch his content, what's compelling about it is the story and his humor sprinkled in there. On top of that, he's not just telling you cold hard information, the top 10 tips you could read on a blog, he's showing himself actually doing it, actually doing the challenges, actually implementing them, sharing his own perspectives, opinion about it. There's totally a way to bring all three into your content. As I get better on this platform, I want to bring this entertainment piece into my content higher and higher and higher. That entertaining feeling, it's very memorable. It's something people will sign up for even after they've had a long day at work. That's why I like bringing out this whiteboard, making up weird analogies, showing my conversations with other creators. Just because you're helping, teaching, doesn't mean your content needs to be boring. Similar idea, are your videos actually topic focused or creator focused in terms of the trajectory or energy around your content? When people are binging your videos, are they coming back to your videos because of the topic, because of the information you're giving them in your videos? Or have you gotten them interested, connected to you, the creator? What you highlight in your content will affect that. And especially if you want people subscribed watching your videos long term, you probably want to bring this creator piece down from the bottom and closer to the top. Do you present your information in a way where they're learning by listening, learning visually, learning in a more sensory, tactile way? We talked about this last time. Does your content feel like it's personalized, speaking to the individual, or is it more general truths, principles, information for a broad general audience? Those things affect the taste of your content smoothie. Do you know how long your videos tend to be, or is it random? Stack enough of these patterns together and suddenly your content smoothie gets a lot more recognizable. On this YouTube channel, how do I like to explain things? It turns out I really like giving you examples, giving you action steps. I also, if you haven't noticed yet, really like creating frameworks and giving you analogies to rethink things. Every once in a while, I draw a diagram, or I show myself actually helping creators, walking them through it. That's a different way for me to explain what I talk about. And generally, I do these things a little bit more, these things slightly less, and these things every once in a while. For you, it might be totally different. These are some things I noticed other creators do that I'm not particularly drawn to. I don't like quoting people, referencing books, movies, but other creators really love doing that. I don't tend to like sharing stats, something I read in an article somewhere, but some other creators love doing that. History was always my least favorite subject in school, so I'm definitely never doing that. And stories, I definitely love stories, but I've found I can explain things actually quicker, for me, using these things. Every creator is going to have different preferences, right? My frameworks, my quirky analogies are getting a little more familiar in my content because it's a pattern, a through line I've weaved into my content. Which patterns, through lines are you going to weave into your content? The way my brain works, I literally could do this all day. I love splitting hairs. I love clarifying things. I love noticing patterns in different people's content, especially how it's affecting me. But the point of this exercise wasn't for me to be able to recognize my own content. I'm here to help you design a YouTube channel that stands stands out and fits your personality so you can tell your story and unlock meaningful impact. I'm still on a journey figuring out how I can best do that. What new frameworks can I make? What new analogies can I make? How can I make this more entertaining? What new creators do I need to study? I'm gonna be working on this for a very long time. If you're interested in watching that journey, you think these videos could help you, your friends, your YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm here with you in the trenches. Let's do this YouTube thing together. You are the change maker of your own life. Let's think more deeply. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace. Bye.